Now let's talk about the eighth law. You shall not steal. You shall not covet your neighbor's house. You shall not covet your neighbor's wife, or his manservant, or maidservant, his ox or donkey, or anything that belongs to your neighbor. The eighth commandment is, you shall not steal. I will also talk about the 10 commandments about coveting others, belonging, which can lead to stealing. Stealing other people's things that do not belong to you is sin. One man that stole in the Old Testament is Achan, found in Joshua 7. Achan stole devoted things to the Lord. He stole a beautiful robe from Babylon, 200 shekels of silver, and a bar of gold, weighing 50 shekels. He hid them, but God knew. God grew angry, and when the Israelites went to battle against Ai, they lost battle, even though the Israelites' army was more than Ai. Joshua was upset over his men's death, their loss, and inquiry about their loss. God told him it's because Israel had sinned. They have violated his covenant, which he commanded them to keep. They had taken some of the devoted things they had stolen, they had lied. They had put them with their own possessions. That is why the Israelites cannot stand against their enemies. They turned their backs and ran because they had been made liable to destruction. God then instructed Joshua that he will not be with them anymore unless they killed the people that steal. Achan was found to be one of the Israelites that stole against God. Because Achan and others coveted and stole, they were stoned and burned to death. Things that belong to God cannot be taken away. If taken away without God's approval, it's stealing. So people cannot covet over the wealth of church and take away for their own use. Be careful. Now let's about today's context. Example. People work hard for their things, their food, their belongings, and someone come and steal them. It's heartbreaking to see this happening. Recently in Singapore, there are some scams going on. People lose their money to scammers who claim to be from banks, government authorities, online marketplaces. There are some who lost their money from get-rich scheme, from cryptocurrency scammers, and people who promise them jobs. Millions of dollars are lost and lives get shattered. Some scammers were caught, but there are others who get away with it, as they are overseas scammers that are difficult to find. These scammers will face consequences from God as they have broken God's law. In Central America, there are illegal cutting of trees in forests, burning them. Some Guatemala people went to Belize, Chicobo National Park forest illegally, which is not their country. They go through the forest, clear the forest to make land, cutting down trees, burning them for cattle ranching, and planting agriculture crops like corns, beans, pumpkin for food. They destroy large areas of wildlife habitat. They did this because they are facing drought in their country. Crops they grow are not growing. Even though they are facing hardship in their country, they should not turn to entering and stealing other people's land illegally and grow their own crops. In Indonesia, there's illegal logging. People cut down trees for timber illegally for money. This is stealing too. You know, there are people stealing human too. This is known as human trafficking and slave trade. There are still slave trades in this world. That year, as people capture African refugees, migrants, escaping to Europe, making them become slaves. They are openly auctioned as slaves in open air markets. Children are not spared. Once captured, all of them become slaves and have to work. Some days they are not given bread, only water. Some people died because of hunger, torture. People are leaving Africa because they couldn't find work, no fish for fishermen to catch. You want to get out of poverty, hunger, changing climate, and conflict. Look into illegal migration to Europe, but some end up becoming captured slaves. Many die as slaves or at sea. Few make it to Europe, which is the promised land to them. There are few countries having human trafficking. They kidnap children, women, and sold them to other countries. Some men and women are called with lucrative jobs, promises overseas. But they end up as prostitutes, doing harsh work, becoming scammers, calling people. They cannot escape. All these are stealing and coveting. Coveting leads to bad things happening. What did the New Testament law teach us how to deal with stealing problem? Matthew chapter 5 verse 42 tells us to give to the one who asks you, and do not turn away from the one who wants to borrow from you. This is important, as if one asks you for help and you do not help, the person turns to stealing if he really needs money. For those who used to be thieves, God said in Ephesians chapter 4 verse 28, you must steal no longer, but must work, doing something useful with your own hands, that you may have something to share with those in need. The reason why one steals because that person has coveted something, longing to get that thing, and they turn to stealing. Stop coveting will help to prevent from stealing. To stop this coveting, all of us need to remember to love our neighbor as ourselves, to prevent from any temptation to steal.